there to see what the heck is going on. And so we sent two of our own intrepid producers, Julia Nutter and Lisa Ferry, down to Broward County, Florida this morning on zero notice. We decided last night during the show, somebody's got to go. Julia and Lisa were like, we're tired, but we'll go. Sure enough, as soon as they got there, things in Florida went nuts right on cue. This was the scene today at the door of the Broward County office where they were counting votes. We think they are chanting for the election supervisor in Broward County, Brenda, to be locked up, since she has been singled out personally for vitriol by Rick Scott and President Trump. But who knows? Who knows, really? This evening, Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz showed up to, cool the passions of the crowd, urge restraint and respect. Yeah, right. Or to yell at police officers and elections officials.
Coming out. This is not a safety hazard indeed.
The safety hazard is there in their store.
Everyone come over here and see what's coming out of this truck.
That's the safety hazard.
We said 4 through 7
have a right to inspect.
Understand what the court order says.
Are you not
I'm
comply?
clarifying what is missing.
Okay.
So in order to comply, I need to clarify what is missing. Right?
Yeah, but we're going to get to
and
inspect,
you don't have to
right?
raise your voice at
I'm
me
not raising my
either.
voice.
You were just a moment ago.
No, are we going to be able to go in and
You
inspect?
should be
I need to
ashamed of
figure out
yourself,
what's
ma'am.
going on.
After you figure that out, are we going to be able to go in and inspect?
Once I figure out what's going on, I can have an answer to your question.
Why not just answer it now?
before.
Are you done?
When you saw Congressman Gaetz haranguing that Broward elections official there, what she was trying to do was talk with Rick Scott's lawyers. Those are the guys on the left. Because this story is also playing out in the courts. Earlier today, Rick Scott's campaign won a ruling in his lawsuit to try to force the Broward election supervisor to turn over information about their vote tallies. Broward County was ordered to turn over that information by 7 o'clock tonight. Scott's lawyers were there at the elections office to receive that court-ordered information, but it doesn't appear they got the data they came for. There have been fast-moving developments on this front just in the last hour or two. Fortunately, we have our crack sleepless team down there to fill us in. Joining us now outside the Broward County Vote Tabulation Center, where the protests have continued tonight, are two of my colleagues, two producers from The Rachel Maddow Show, Julia Nutter and Lisa Ferry. You guys, thank you for being there. Much appreciated.
Happy
Anytime.
To do it. Happy to do it.
Very good. All right, Julia, let me start with you. Julia, I know you have been in the middle of the Broward since this morning. Can you just tell us about the character of the protest and how it changed throughout the day?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, I just came because I wanted to see what it looked like to tabulate votes in Broward County, particularly in a fraught time as this. I didn't expect there to be much of a protest at all, and it turns out when I arrived, there were about 150 to 200 protesters here, loudly chanting. I heard them across the parking lot when I arrived. And it was a little jarring at first, and then when I saw that the elections officials weren't letting anyone in the doors, not just protesters and media, I saw why it was starting to get very fraught. This was before the ruling in the Rick Scott case, so I think at that time people were still a little unsure as to what might happen. So there were some mild discussions between people who disagreed. It was mostly supporters of Scott and a lot of supporters of DeSantis, a lot of supporters of Trump, a lot of chants of Trump 2020 and lock her up, as you heard there, which was a little unexpected, I think, on my part. But then after the ruling, people started to come back in, particularly supporters of Andrew Gillum. And I think that sort of set up a bit of a tense standoff at times, which was a lot more heated than originally in the day. And so it's just dissipated now within the last few minutes. But as you can see, police have been out for the most part all day, and they've put up these barricades right around the time that the ruling started happening, the hearing started happening today, in expectation that it would get worse.